wet or...
We'll have a look. Let's quickly introduce the track to you guys. We are here in China, so welcome for round number 4. It is 4th round in the FNL1 Championship, and we're looking forward to it. It's an interesting track, lots of long straights, especially the long straight after turn 13. It is definitely wet, as you saw tonight. And if you're not familiar with the circuit, here it is in all its glory. It's a 5.4 kilometre circuit. And yeah, turn 13, the detection zone's just past turn 12 for that DRS zone. And getting on the power early there is going to be vital. ERS deployment, management, it's going to be very crucial again. And yes, we're very keen to see what happens because, like you said, Hawks on the top, BP out in 10th after the Q3 drama. And we've got a full grid ready to attack.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting this start, and I think if we can get the tyres up to see what everyone's on. Hawk's definitely on inters. I saw a couple of other guys with intermediates as well. So this will be interesting. I'd like to know what BP is going to be trying to do.
Area stops for tonight. One stop about lap 14 to 17. Two stopper. The first window at 9 to 17. We'll see that pop up again in just a second. There's the tyres. Everybody started intermediates, so no surprise there.
So yeah, it could be one of those races where it's wet enough, but not wet enough to go onto a full wet, and hence the intermediates will wear out, as the pit strategy guide shows.
Alrighty, well, the drivers are lined up for 28 laps. We're going to begin it. They're going to be very cold on this lap because, well, it's raining. Intermediate tyres. And Bots there shares the front row with Hawks. As you can see, BP's down in 10th place. Blinky's 3rd. Simo, he's there in 6th place. He is 3rd in the championship, but we're about to get going. So hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to probably get squeezy into the first turn. And we're underway in racing in a very wet China. There's the two-stop strategy. Expect lap 18 to 26. But as that was Savage Rock Lobster. He just touched the grass, and he's very lucky to still be racing before the first turn. Xmod is on the outside. Crazy Kiwi. And everybody 2x2 through here, and they're keeping themselves very well behaved because they know there's not a lot of room, and you're going to lose front wings if you're not careful. So they're all on their very best behaviour, and I don't think we've lost a single driver just yet. They've all played by the rules. Bots leading though.
No damage. Yeah, Bots leading there. Took advantage of Hawks coming out of turn 2. Goes a little wide himself there. That's going to give Hawks an advantage. But will there be room? He's got him on the inside.
Not quite. No. Not quite. Hawks had to back out of that one. Bots is adamant he wants to keep up in the lead at the moment. And because it's wet, I don't think we're going to be seeing DRS for a long time unless it dries out. And Simo, he's managed to push his way forward. He's up to 5th already, pushing Wardy Chill back down in the 6th place. And bit of a back-end spin from Bots. Yeah. We had a yellow flag out, but I think the field is nicely racing at the moment.
And BP up to 4th place, so superb stuff there in the first 2 sectors by BP.
It was that's pretty typical BP, so it's what he does best sometimes. Ming in the drama, he's getting overtaken as we exit turn 13, and the long run down to the 14 long braking zone, and at the front it's still 1 by 1, but these two haven't let up for this entire lap at the moment, and Bots is giving it to Hawks every chance he gets.
Oh, look at that Mercedes just squirreling out of that corner as Hawks tries to get the power down. And this little battle between Hawks and Bots has really, prevented them from getting away, and Blink is right in there, and obviously BP not too far behind either, so one mistake here.
We've lost the cheers. Where was it? Because Major Dan, he's at the back of the field, and he still has not... There's the cheers, is he, on the outside? Oh, he must have put the power down a bit too quickly. He's ended up in that wall.
Looks like a safety car.
Big safety car already. So there you go, folks. It has been Pretty timid racing, but it is wet, so I don't blame them.
Ming and Dan have pitted. I'm going to assume it's not for tyres, but it's for damage. Because pitting now would be a little bit futile, serve no purpose even if you were coming at the back. But hopefully they can recatch the field sooner than later, and probably looking at least another lap under the safety car. Well, really, the safety car hasn't yet caught up to him. It's waiting for him down on the end of the main straight there, or the back straight.
Just saw Ming moving very slowly. I don't know what is going on here. He's not punching it at all. Safety car's already out on track.
Yeah, he could be still under that silly delta.
I think it might be if they're behind it. Yeah, it looks like the same situation's happening to Major Dan here. He's got to stay to delta before he hits that safety car, which is letting him pass anyway because it's got the green light.
Well, in a way, it's a full course yellow. You know what I mean? So naturally the drivers do have to slow down initially. That's how it is in real life. But once the pace car has caught the field, then the guys at the back can speed up to catch the field.
And welcome, Epic. Good to have you along, sir. And yeah, Prince saying, now that is a clean start. I mean, I was expecting maybe a few pinches and prods at the first turn. Lap 9, 17, 18, 26 for the two-stopper, but that's, well, it's not gone out the window yet because it is still raining, and it's too early for anyone to come in. But I think Wardy's in. He must have taken damage. Let's have a look.
Yeah, he must have taken damage. I think there's no advantage pitting for tyres now. The only thing is if you have damage. So we'll see. Yes, there is a nose cone waiting. And he's
clear penalty.
Yeah, so
might as well
get all of that clear. And Morgan's retired.
What's happened to
Good Lord!
Where is he?
Under safety car.
He's crashed. Surely. Oh, he's missing.
Big!
Wow, he's missing a front wing and everything. His wheel is off its arches, on its tethers. What has he done?
Unbelievable! I think there goes Hawks' championship bid. Right there on a wet track on a Sunday afternoon in China.
Oh, I'm so sorry we can't give you a replay of what happened, but wow, that is wow.
I don't know. I've got no explanation other than he snapped a bit of throttle. Just as we were saying how good the start was with Rock Lobster there, the only one that sort of got on a little bit of the grass, and to be honest, from my experience, he's probably snapped third gear going in a straight line, and the car got wobbly on him under, with no TC. Not hard to do, but he's done well to catch that at the start there. And here we are, 3-4 laps later, and the leader is out of the race.
BP's up to third because of that. BP's leading the championship on 142 points. Hawks was shy only by 8 on 134, but it's going to be a massive deficit after tonight's race. The Simo, he's got 93, and he's currently third, sitting equal points with Wardy Chill. And Crazy Kiwis, 72, and he takes fifth. Yeah, wow. So Bots is going to get some good points. He's looking comfortable at the front. Wardy Chill, he hasn't got a teammate anymore. He's all the way down the back.
Not good for Mercedes so far.
No, and in the constructors, they are leading Mercedes 227, but
I think this is a big chance for Ferrari to claw back massive points. They've got both drivers in the top 5 as it stands. Bots and BP definitely are no slouches, as we know. So there's a podium on offer, maybe even 2 if they play their cards right for Ferrari. And then we can't even forget, Crazy Kiwi and the Renault, always a good competitor in changing conditions, I must say.
Now, is BP in the pause menu? Is that why it says AI? Or is he...
Yeah, he's in the pause menu, so he's probably looking at who's got pings. And probably checking to see what happened to Hawk.
Kaus has rated us with 3 viewers. Welcome, and thank you very much, Kaus, for your support there. And it's so good to have you along, guys. We're under safety car. It was a very clean start. We had Still the Chiz out on the second to last corner, and Hawks out under the safety car. He is second in the championship, so it's not like him to be doing silly little errors like that, but we don't know what's happened. There's a monsoon here in China. Without traction control, anything could have happened to him. So without the wonders of instant replay, we're just going to have to guess.
We see there Blinky weaving the car, trying to, and this is a very important thing. Intermediates aren't too bad, but the idea is to keep as much heat in those tyres as possible on what is a considerably wet track. Now there is a drying line that we can see, so it wouldn't be too bad, but yeah, you want to keep those temps up so that you're right on it for the restart. Now, was Hawks doing something like that and they caught him out?
I could have. I mean, it's so easy to do, especially in the wet, on a wet track. I mean,
yeah,
it happens to the best of us at times.
So just getting some radio chat. Hawks is apologising to bots in case he damaged his car. So they must have been in very close proximity when it happened.
Maybe he ran him up the back, or he was called out by him slowing down. I don't know.
Bots was still in the lead, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
He was, sorry. So I called that the leader was out of the race. Sorry, the leader was not in the race, but Hawks coming number 2 there, coming second, is out of the race. So yeah, maybe he got caught out by bots trying to weave himself. Who knows? You know, I'm not accusing anyone or anything. I mean, these conditions aren't ideal by a long shot. Hawks very apologetic there, so I guess that was just a mistake by Hawks, and he'd be ruining that and hoping that BP gets a DNF or finishes, in the lower end of the field.
Now there is a drying line, as you can see. Interestingly, in the game, it doesn't really work the same as real life. I find the offline, where you usually have a little bit more grip in the real world, doesn't quite translate the same way in the game. So you still pretty much have to stick to the racing line as such.
Well, definitely on intermediates. Intermediates, you have to treat it like you have to stay on that darker patch that the safety car is now on, as you can see. Because the intermediates are still looking for the driest part of the track. But when it comes to the wet tyre, and as long as there's no actual dry line, or not dry line, that's not really a dry line, but a drier line, then you can do a little bit of the go-kart racing lines, and they can work. But in these conditions, the drivers will definitely be wanting to stay on that darker, less shiny surface. But as a result, that will heat the intermediates up over time, and then the drivers will be searching for cooler parts of the track, especially down here on this back straight, to keep the tyres from overheating.
Welcome, a Russian friend Keegan, and Spec One as well. Welcome, guys. Spec One's happy to see bots up front, and Spec One, one of our big supporters. He's done super chats in the past, if I remember correctly. I'm sure you have, Spec One. Now the safety car is in. We're on lap number 5. Bots is getting ready to go. Blinky's going to have to be on his. He's going to have to be prepared and ready, because once we get the power down, we're going to be racing once again. BP's up there in 3rd, and he's looking to get his way forward. Here we go. Bots gets the race restarted. We're back in racing. Blinky just in behind Bots in the McLaren up into the first turn. BP is he going to be patient? No, he might go around the outside as Blinky's just offline. His teammate, the Simo's, up there in 4th for the moment. But these front 4 right now looking very pacey. Crazy Kiwi leads the next field of drivers, and it's just him and Schnell. Rock Lobster's been called out, and I don't know where the rest of them are, because Mort is a ways back. Captain Kino there in 9th. Warrior Wasp ahead of Andrew HRT and Banana. And doesn't look like anyone's been called out, but at the back end of that field, I don't think they were as close as the rest of them, as Ming gets a good run on Wardy Chill, and Breeden gets pushed back even further now into position 15. It's been a clean start. Still absolutely pouring down with rain, and anything can happen, as we've seen already today in the first 5 laps.
BP's cleared Blinky already.
He has, and there we are. Blinky and Simo now. Are they going to work together and help each other out? Who is quicker in the wet? Might be the Simo, but we're just going to have to see how this story unfolds. But yeah, BP has managed to clear 3rd place Blinky.
Now it'll be interesting now, BP, there will be no DRS, so BP's going to have to do this old school with Bots. And speaking of old school, Bots is a bit of one of those old school drivers. He's not going to give an inch to BP, and he's raced many times toe-to-toe with BP as Kiwi now, and Schnell tries to take one around the outside, well defended by Kiwi there.
Yeah, Kiwi got him. Schnell back at him on the power down because you saw the back end of Kiwi get a little squirrely and he couldn't get the power down onto the road. And thank you very much, Spec1, for the super chat. Legendary. Let her rip. Tater chip. The race is ongoing. Lap number 7 now. And Blinky still takes 3rd from his teammate Simo. The gap's 7/10. And as you can see, Schnell, he's 2.6 behind the rest of them. So BP still looking for a way forward. And he's very hungry for the win and the lead. He's on 142 points in the championship. There's a yellow in Sector 3. Oh, we've got a car around. It's Major Dan. And I think he's just waiting for traffic to go by. He'll rejoin now. So, yeah, these wet conditions are really testing some of these guys.
Definitely, and as we saw there with Kiwi and Schnell, Kiwi defended excellently, kept a very tight line. Technically was on the better part of the track, but squeezed the throttle just a little bit too much. And he had to lift, and Schnell got a beautiful drive around the outside and easily cleared him before the last corner.
And that's what it takes. There's another yellow. I'm seeing a car around on the map. I'm just trying to find out who it is, but I think it's gone back to green flag races. Some of these guys are just, without the traction control, are just getting caught out by the wet conditions. BP V8, he is trying still. No DRS. We won't have it in the wet, so BP's got to do it all on his own. There's going to be ERS management, lots of that going on. They've got the overtake button, don't forget. And these top 4 are putting on a pretty decent race as we come to the end of lap 7. Bots leads. Stephen Burrows, welcome. It was Hawks and Bots, but Hawks out under the safety car. He crashed, and still the Chiz out here just on turn 14. But we're on lap 7 now, so we've had a small safety car period. Fastest lap, Blinky. So Blinky's no slouch.
No slouch, actually. BP went purple, and immediately after Blinky got purple, just went that little bit quicker. And they are all over the back of Bots, but Bots, he doesn't, as long as he doesn't make a mistake and he gets that drive going onto that back straight on turn 13, I think he can cover BP quite comfortably without having the DRS.
He's doing a good job of it. BP at the moment just can't find any weaknesses, and he's going to be watching intently to the car in front. Bots looks like he knows this track well, and he looks quite comfortable in these wet conditions too. So it's good to see someone else giving it to BP. It's usually him out front, but tonight looks like we're pretty equal. And without that DRS as well, he's got to work even harder because Bots, as you've seen, can defend.
Here we are coming up to turn 11 now. Then the little fast kick right, which is turn 12, and that leads us onto this turn 13 that sweeps out. It's tricky in the dry to get the power down. You can't go too early, otherwise you go out wide. In the wet it'd be even worse. But he's done again a very good job there, it seems, and without that DRS, you know, Bots can now easily defend that inside line if he so chooses.
When he's doing that, he's putting the car there. Is BP going to get him in the brakes? Is he going to run deep though? No, BP's all over it. And he's found the traction he's required. Bots might be under immediate attack from Blinky, but Blinky couldn't get the power down as quickly as he probably would have wanted. So Bots now has to defend and attack at the same time. How's this going to affect him? And at the same time, welcome Graham Kelly. Yes, all Australian here tonight. Welcome, buddy. And Blinky, yeah, he looks like he's ready to go around. Bots.
Might stick him in the side. He gets tight here. He gets a lot tighter. No.
We just tagged him.
Just a little nudge.
I don't think there'll be a puncture there, but in the real world, Have to be a little bit more careful.
It was more with the front, with the nose, rather than an end plate. But yeah, Bots, I think he blocked the inside line there into that hairpin. But wow, BP was so good under brakes going out wide. He really got the move completely done before he needed to turn in for the apex. It was amazing.
It was. And he was so confident on those brakes as well, because I thought he'd run deep, but he didn't. Down the back end, we're seeing a few overtakes happening in this part of the world. We've got HRT and Britato going at it. Banana Hammock, the other Haas driver as well, he's just ahead. And these guys are one by one next to each other through the first two turns. And it is still Hammock out front, and Andrew HRT is a spectator to it all, but he's loving the action ahead of him. Warrior Wasp loses a position, I don't think because of an accident. No. So Hammock, that's his next target. But look at these two guys again. HRT almost runs into his teammate, and he's just ducked out of the way just in time. But Bratato's lost the position there. He's not comfortable at all.
No. I'm just having a look, see if Bratato's got a little bit of damage on one of those front wings. I'm not 100% sure, but I think he just outbraked himself, going a little bit wide in a sequence of corners, and that's just allowed the two Husses to clear him now. As BP goes fastest lap.
No surprises there, because he's always putting in the quick laps. Have a look at the weather. It's still pouring down with rain. It's not wet enough for full wets, so I'll have to keep an eye on that, but it definitely hasn't let up since the beginning. Blinky is still within attacking range, but without that DRS, it's making things very difficult for the guys tonight, because they've got to get a good exit out of 13, and that's onto that long straight. And without that good exit, they're just severely on the back end before the end of that, because that's just a huge straight.
That's right. I think Blinky's now for now, he's going to consolidate third spot and see how this race pans out. They will have to make a pit stop. They can't run these intermediates, even if the conditions stay exactly as they are. They will need to make at least one stop. The tyres just won't last.
Ricciardo was getting a little bit close, but he just didn't have the power on that last turn, and the gap grew from 9/10 to 1.5 seconds. So the HRT boys are working well together, able to tow each other along a little bit. And HRT, he's just got his teammate ahead, but these guys are the closest on track at the moment. 12th place is Wasp. There's Ming in the Renault. Wardy Chill, the other only Mercedes left in this one. He's there in 10th. Kino. Oh, and as that happens, I think the two Hasses have swapped positions. As Hammock, no, he did. HRT really wants to get his teammate.
Wow, they're going for it, you know. I tell you what, Banana's done really well this season, you know, really.
There goes Breeden. All by himself too. He's still in this race. And he's getting things recovered. There comes Major Dan, and he's right at the back of the grid now. It's going to be super sketchy on that grass.
No damage. He survives to fight another day. But yeah, going back to Banana, you know, he's definitely improved, and in these conditions, he's doing extremely well.
Absolutely.
I must say.
Oh, no. And that's it for Bratado. That's how easy it is to do that, as he's off at turn 12. And
you see that he was on the shiny stuff on the inside of that dark matte line, and doesn't take much. You know. Also, don't forget, these tyres are now starting to go. They're starting to lose their groove, and they're starting to become like slicks. And once that happens, you're in big trouble.
Yeah, we just saw Kino just controlling the back end of a little bit of a wobbly one. So yeah, it looks like a lot of the drivers out there are getting to the end of it. There's a little bit more as he tries to just dab the power down a little bit, but they've got to be so delicate at the moment. It's still a race, mind you, so they want to go quick, but these wet weather's not allowing them to do what they've practiced. It's all a learning curve for everybody tonight, because I don't know how much wet weather practice they've all done. There's Kino again, bit of opposite lock still. That's Mort just entering 11 into 12, and that is Kino chasing him. So as we go back up to the order, Blinky right on the tailpipes of Bots. Look at that. Opposite lock completely to the left-hand side, and he's kept it from spinning, but it is a huge challenge for these drivers.
Well, Blinky's definitely taking this fight to Bots, and both the McLaren and the Ferrari driver see this as a golden opportunity with one of the Mercedes already out. So they will be fighting tooth and nail for that second spot on the podium.
Spec 1 said before, sketchy but exciting. Big downforce lost and drenched track being that close. Yeah, Blinky will have to deal with some of that. And I'm sure BP, who's at the front now, is on a full downforce setup because he loves having his car stick to the road.
Surprisingly, and I don't know if it's just the game that really does this, when you're really, really close to a car in front in the wet, your visibility isn't that bad. But when you're a car length behind and further, the whole spray, you can't even move left and right to get a clearer view. Your whole screen is just covered.
No, you're not wrong. I don't play much F1 2020, but I did give it a go at Silverstone in the wet, and oh my god, it was just a grey wall. And yeah, nowhere that I could place the car. It didn't matter where I was. It was just a grey wall. So you've got to anticipate so much. And without racing lines and things on as well, it's even harder for the boys. Sector 3 yellow.
Now these intermediates aren't going to throw up as much spray as a full set of wets, but still, it's not ideal to be behind a car.
No, not at all. And here comes the Simo. Is he going to get his teammate, or is he just going to back off a little and let Blinky recover from that little bit of a sketchy moment we saw? But these three cars right now, BP has lost them. The gap's about 5-6 seconds between them. And they're having a good little race here at the moment. But yeah, that downforce, like you said, when they're following Spec, is going to be at a minimum. Let's see what Blinky can do as we ride on board again. Just watch how active he's got to be on the wheel, because the car just does not want to put the power down at some points. He's really got to be really light. And they're catching some backmarkers too. So this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, you've got to be really patient on that throttle, and the ability to squeeze, to roll the throttle on and roll the throttle off in conditions like this is vital.
God, I'm so surprised he hit the curbing there, and it's just inviting just an instant spin. Bots had good run out of there though, didn't he? He's starting to build the gap a little bit. He's coming up on back markers, but the Haas driver gets out of the way. And into 11 and 12. We've had a yellow, but I think it's been cleared. So back to the racing here with Bots and Blinky. And Simo, for that matter. The gap now is 5/10. Blinky's coming offline, interestingly. That's an interesting one.
It's the tyres, you see. So he's obviously the tyres are getting a bit hot. He's trying to save them, trying to stretch them out. He'd be aiming for lap 15 at the earliest to really want to pit. So that he can go to the end on another set.
There is Schnell. He's starting to slowly catch these guys, actually. So slowly but surely, he's getting there. Blinky's decided to take it into the pits.
So Blinky will be the first to blink.
Here we go. Let's see. It's probably just another intermediate, I'd imagine.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yep.
And it is.
So what are we, lap 14? That's about at the end of the window for a one-stopper, or the beginning rather. So
the beginning, yeah.
So Blinky's looks like he's doing a one-stopper. Rock Lobster's in as well. So one-stoppers seem to be the favoured choice tonight.
Yeah, this would probably indicate that the weather is going to stay as is. If there was any deviation, either it was going to get wetter or it's going to get drier, I think the guys would hold out a little longer out there on those intermediates.
Now, Wardy Chill is coming up on the back end of Keno, and he's actually got 3-lap younger tyres because he pitted under the safety car and took new intermediates at that time. So he might be at a slight advantage now, interestingly. He served a penalty too, so it was a smart move while the track was slowed down with that silver Mercedes at the front of it. Ken Wardy, though, can he catch Keno in time and make it a clean move? He's looking likely at the moment as we navigate these set of corners coming up to the long straight in just a moment. He's just got to be patient, and I think this will come to him. Keno, though, will be intently looking in that rear vision mirror and hoping it actually stays that way. But Wardy was going to have something different to say. Let's see how it does down this front straight, or back straight rather. Out of turn 13, he's in the toe. He's staying just in behind him as we speak. Keno shoots along up into the braking zone of 14. And they're going to brake late and hard. And still, Wardy stays in ninth, but it is closing. Wardy is surely going to get him in the next couple of laps, because I think Keno might even need to duck in to the pits. He's doing another lap. There we go.
Do another lap, but definitely Keno got a great drive out of that turn 13, and maybe got to be, as he now has a run on Wardy, but Schnell's pitted, so that's putting him out of the
Bots
loop
just
for now.
Bots was lucky, just come out ahead of all of that, so he won't be slowed down by this little battle that's happening on track. So Bots has entered the pits and exited in 5th.
Wow, Blinky's undercut him, that means.
Oh, you're right.
So, yeah, Blinky pitting early has done a major and a big undercut, 4.1 seconds ahead of Bots. So there's that's going to be an indication to some people, if they're paying attention. Pit now, you know.
Yeah, if anyone, if you're on the ball, we should see these. We should see Keno bite the bullet and take to the pit lane, because he'll be at a massive benefit, because he's now fighting Mort and Wardy, and he could get it ahead of Mort, so to speak, because the undercut has worked.
That's right, and definitely going back to Keno coming out of turn 13 with Wardy definitely catching in that first two sectors, but then Keno getting a great launch out of that turn 13, and I suspect that Keno is saving all his ERS and then using even the overtake down in this section now here, to get that good drive and to make sure that Wardy chill half a second behind. You can see that there's no gain being made.
None at all. Yeah, Wardy, he can't get. Oh, he did, but he can't. They still can't get close enough just to attempt, putting the nose there and maybe blocking the turn in. But it's just not working for anyone here yet. They've got to be really quick out of that corner, and it's not happening. None of them are pitted, so guess none of them are listening to us live, because they would have heard the tech. Or Mort went in rather, so maybe Mort is.
So now Simo also now has got ahead of Bots. So I wonder if Bots had a moment. It couldn't have just been an undercut outright. I think Bots has had a moment to lose that much time. He's been jumped by both Ferraris now in the pit stop.
Now this is Schnell. He's just behind Wardy Chill. And this battle is really starting to heat up as China still reigns and just on the verge of flooding the track, so to speak. It is pouring. And Schnell, he's looking comfortable here. Wardy might be under the pump, even though, Schnell's got some new tyres on, and look at the pace difference between them.
Yeah, there's a huge pace difference.
So Mort was part of this trio, and he went in that last lap, so he should technically. Oh, that was lucky.
Yeah, I knew what he was doing, and that would work in the dry, but in the wet, that is a
sketchy move.
Sketchy move. He had a lot of drive, and he felt it, and he knew it, and then he's tried to over-rotate the car, and the rear end got really loose on him, and he's down on the low side again.
Oh, that was dodgy.
See how much drive he lost by going down that low?
Yeah. Didn't work for him. Wardy still can't get anywhere near Keno. And Schnell lost a lot of drive, as you said. So they stay as is, 6th, 7th and 8th. We're waiting for them to pit, though. Oh, he's gone wide, Keno. And that's given Wardy a little bit more hope. Surely he's going to take it into the pits. He does.
Keno's. Oh, he's done a Lewis Hamilton. And luckily we got tarmac in that section now.
It should be gravel.
It should be gravel.
So Kiwi comes out of the pit lane. Keno enters. So everything's happening here on lap 17. Rock Lobster moves up one because he's now past Keno. We're waiting for Mort to come around. This could be close between them. Let's see. they were. Mort was just ahead of Keno. He will stay ahead. Just. So good work from Mort. He's put the lap times in when needed.
Oh, Keno's tried to carry some speed there. It's pushed him out very, very wide.
It was almost on the grass.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky there. I think he just let go of the brake a little bit, trying to close the gap to Mort, and that's, let the front tyres slide out wide.
So Keno now, he just needs to use these tyres effectively because Mort will also had his tyres up to temp. So yeah, Keno's got a little bit of work to do, but if he can stay within range, he was definitely looking the faster driver for a little bit. So the battle here for 9th, 10th. Remember, they all get points. It is a VLN scoring system, so it's not the normal scoring. Yeah, Keno's lost a lot of time to Mort. And that exit out of 2 and 3 hasn't helped his situation through the rest of the lap. There it is again. Bit more opposite lock to control the car. Oh, Mort's gone. Oh. Mort has gone around on his own, and that's given the spot to Keno.
Keno be licking his lips going, thank you.
That's such a shame. Mort was put up a really good fight as well. Warty Chill is in the pits.
Very easy to do what happened to Mort there. Even in the dry, that corner, you can't get on throttle too early as the rear end wants to get loose. And then if you do get it perfect, sometimes coming out, it just understeers and it just pushes you out onto the curbing. So, and that's in the dry. So, let alone in the wet. Not surprising that many more haven't succumbed to that kind of a spin.
Now, Ming, he's not too far away from Warrior Wasp here. The gap only 6/10, and he looks like he's got his overtake pushed down because he's catching Wasp at a rate of knots. Is he going to have a go at the braking zone? Not close enough, but he's definitely closed in the gap big time. And Wasp is now inside the pressure cooker, and it's ready for him to put on the defense. We unfortunately don't know the weather's... Ming! That was huge! Ming is out of it. That was absolutely massive.
Virtual safety car.
He pirouetted.
Well, that's just, coming out of that last corner, you do want to get as much power down to get the run with the guy. And I don't know if the apex here unsettled him, or was it purely going out on that curb on the outside there and putting the throttle down that's sent him virtually at a right angle to the inside wall there.
Oh, it was huge. It's called out the VSC, and Wasp has been given a penalty for speeding under the safety car as well. Luckily for BP, it means the gaps stay as they are. But we should get back to racing fairly quickly. Drive through for penalty for Blinky for speeding under the virtual safety car, and he's currently second. The radio chatter will be going wild. He'll be swearing his face off, I can assure you of that. Oh, that's...
Yeah, that's unreal, eh? Is that a bug, or did he actually just squeeze too much out of it, But we're back under racing now.
If he's got the footage, he can take it to the stewards. So
yeah,
there might be reverse later. But so Blinky now, he's just got to take that out over the back of his mind, put it at the back of his mind, and just race and do the best he can.
Yeah, I guess now he should just drive it till the end, and yep. If the game will penalise him at the end, but the stewards can, if found to be a bug, can overturn it.
Thank you very much, Assist, and Stephen Burrows for liking the stream. Don't forget, guys, best way to support the channel is to like the videos we make. And don't forget, we have a highlights channel now, Demo 1 Garage Highlights. Search for it on YouTube. Bots is coming up on the back end of Simo now. Is he going to go for the move? Simo, he's up on the outside. Bots up on the inside. He's got the nose just up on his half-quarter panel. He is ahead. He's pushed the Ferrari all the way out wide. Simo won't be happy, but Bots takes third.
It was It wasn't a late lunge, but it was a deep lunge. But I think Simo also braked a little bit late, and he ended up leaving the door wide open as he now has a look on the inside. But there's a Warrior Wasp coming out of the pits, I think, serving his penalty.
Yeah, and that meant Simo had to dart back up into the inside because he was on in the same lane as that AlphaTauri. But this fight is getting quite aggressive now as Bots and Simo duel one-on-one with each other. It's a fantastic little battle. It's meant Blinky's built a gap, and Brad Tonkinson is following. Welcome to the race tonight, guys. Hope you're enjoying it. We're on lap 20 of 28, and this looks like it's going to be fire all the way to the end.
3-second penalty to Blinky for track limits, and I think this is going to play a huge part in the at the end of this with multiple penalties. So we really don't know what the finishing order is. Probably the only safe bet here is to say that BP looks solid for the win.
Absolutely. Like I said, guys, there is a highlights channel, Demo and Garage Highlights. Every race we do from now on will have a highlights package. So make sure you check it out. If you've missed the race and you don't have time to rewatch the whole broadcast, there will be a highlights within 2 or 3 days of the race. So make sure you check it out on YouTube. But Simo's there in 4th. He's lost a bit of time to Bots. And if he was in DRS, he's not anymore. We've got a yellow in the 3rd sector. I don't think it's any of these. They're just in behind them. So I think it's Breeden, actually. She's really struggling tonight. The teammate of Bots.
Yeah, really not really performing in the same car as Bots, on the same level tonight. And, you know, Bots is a bit of a veteran, you know, and these conditions...
Blinky has come in to the pits.
Is he going to serve that penalty? He's going to serve that drive-through. Don't know if that's his... obviously, he must feel that he did legitimately break the speed limit, you know, so
he comes out in 5th.
That. Yeah, and he's got himself into a bit of a gap here, so, you know, he's lost 2 places, but I think that he has the pace to catch Snell. Whether or not he can get past him, that's a different story. But I guess that was a bit of damage limitation there for Blinky, should I say.
It must have been. Welcome to all the new guys. Just chucking in the likes and shares there. Thank you very much. Nidal comment, thanks for following. Hello from Argentina, from Ivo. Good to have you. Got big global audience tonight. It's good to have everyone with us. Wherever you're watching us from, it could be Twitch, could be YouTube, could be Facebook. And we're coming to the end of this race. BP's leading by a huge margin. He's not going to be pressured unless he makes a huge catastrophic mistake like we saw Hawks did under the safety car, unfortunately. But the battle for second is up in the air. Blinky served a penalty we didn't think he deserved, but maybe he did. And he's fallen to 5th. But it has really come alive as we come to the end of this one. I'm looking forward to it. And just like to say thanks again to Spec1 for hitting the super chat on YouTube tonight. Thank you very much. You're an absolute legend. And hopefully this race is going to pan out to be even more exciting because of it. Here we go.
Mash Barretto there, you know, keeping within striking range of Bots. Definitely doesn't want to let this one down. I was just looking at him coming down the back straight, and I don't know if he got as good an exit as Boss, but he was losing ground to Bots down that back straight. We'll keep an eye on that because I'm wondering if Simo is carrying a fair bit of wing compared to Bots, because the drivers probably would have known that it was going to rain to some degree in the race. So going with a safer, higher downforce in the wet conditions is probably a safe bet, but you're really vulnerable down that back straight.
Yeah, I think they did know ahead of time about the weather, so I think that's why BP's managed to do what he's done. Plus, he loves his downforce anyway.
Yeah, that's right. He's a traditionalist for downforce. I mean, that guy probably tried and run the Hungary downforce at Monza.
Yeah, why not? I mean, but in the wet conditions as well, it's certainly working out for him.
That's right. And, you know, so now Simo's just keeping Bots honest, and you can see he's closed the gap by 0.2 of a second in this second sector. So it makes me wonder if Simo's just got that little bit more downforce than what Bots is running. Let's keep an eye on him here. Down to 5.6. Or should I say 0.56?
Yeah, 0.56, 0.6. It does go up, so
Yeah,
you
it does
could be
go
right,
up.
actually.
Yeah, so I think that Bottas has got the slipperier car here, and without the DRS, as long as Bottas doesn't make a mistake, I think it's going to be enough to hold Simo out for that second spot.
Listen to the drive there. He's still searching for traction, but the car just picks up and goes. So Bottas has really got this thing nailed in here on the wet circuit at China. The Simo, though, can't match his exits, and he can't match that straight line either. That's what's hurting him, as Zen has rightly pointed out. But this is where the Simo comes back.
Yeah.
This is where he needs, and he'll probably get the overtake if he does. Lap 23-28. It's coming. We're not at the end yet, so Simo, there's still hope.
That's right. Simo just needs to stay patient here, and as long as, see, there goes Bottas a little bit deep there. So as long as he's in Bottas' mirrors, putting the pressure on, you never know. It only takes a blink of an eye, as we've seen, for a mistake to happen, and even a mistake that isn't actually race-ending. Just a bit of a, sideways squirrel out of the corner, trying to get the traction down, would open the door for Simo and second place in this race.
It could. Let's take a look at the telemetry for Bots down this straight. It's on the bottom right of your screen. Let's have a look at his top speed, and we'll compare that with Simo as we come out of turn 13 onto this long straight where the DRS zone would be. So he's hit 300. Oh, he's like 10 kilometers quicker already. So 312, 310, 300, yeah. So
yeah,
downforce is hurting Simo, and you can see it in the telemetry.
Yeah, so that's interesting there, and Simo really he needs to get more out of his package in that middle sector, so that he can be right on Bottas' tail going into 12 and 13. But as one of your viewers said, it's hard to stay that close because you lose that front downforce, and the understeer in the wet would be diabolically evil.
Absolutely. There's your purple, Stephen. 144.863 from BP. Everybody's had one stop except Wardy. He's done the two. He did stop under the safety car. So that's how things have panned out. Positions changed since the beginning. BP's gone up 9. Bottas has stayed where he is, but Schnell up 7. So he's had a fantastic day. Along with Simo, he's also gone up 3 himself. But Blinky, with that penalty, he's dropped 2.
Yeah.
So not what he was hopefully getting out of tonight. But the races will go on. We'll have more racing. And the Simo's still trying to find... Oh, just so abruptly coming in the braking there. I just think he might have used his tyres now, because he doesn't look to have the pace.
Either that, or he's trying to harvest more battery power. He's probably used a fair bit of it up. The interesting one now is Blinky has been catching Schnell regularly by, well, I'd say at least over half a second, maybe 0.7, 0.8 seconds a lap. But with only 3 laps to go and 3.8 seconds behind Schnell, it's not going to be enough for Blinky to improve from his 5th place at the moment.
No, the gap's grown between Bottas and Simo to 1.5, 1.7. It grows every time we hit a long straight, and it is becoming an even bigger wall that Simo needs to climb over, and it's not going to happen. Like Zen said, if Bottas does make a small error, Simo will be there to pounce, but it just hasn't happened yet. He's been way too consistent, and he's been on the ball from the very beginning. Schnell, he's looking pretty good in 4th. Blinky has dropped that gap somewhat in 5th place, but he hasn't been able to do anything with it. We've had a yellow out. It's one of the Hasses, I think. It was Andrew HRT.
He's going a little bit wide there.
And he's just ahead of his teammate, Banana. He's in 13th. Major Dan occupies 14th. Bertado, he's there in 15th. And Breeden, who really wants to see the end of this race, he's in 16th. But more points than Ming, Hawks and Chiz. because of the VLN scoring system in play. This is our leader. 19 seconds now. He is flying. Let's see what a lap with BP looks like in the wet, because he's got all the confidence in the world.
Nicely apexes that corner. You don't want to take too much apex on that corner in the wet, because it will unsettle the car. Let's have a look here. Gets a nice, takes a lot of apex there, goes out wide, feeds the throttle on nice and smooth. As we go down the main straight now into turn one. Turn one gets tighter as you go around, so your entry speed is quite high. You're washing speed off as you go. And here it really tightens up. You want to really get onto that apex. He does nice. Take this apex nicely, not too much as well. Keep a tight line as you get on the throttle. Don't want to go out too wide out here, because that curve will hurt you in the wet. And now we're coming up to turn 6, hard braking area. Get a plenty of, a little bit wide there on that apex. You can take a fair bit on that one. And now this part, the high speed section, in the dry, this is comfortably flat out. And then a lift here into 4th gear. And then you slow down. You don't want to go out too wide, because this will set you up nicely, keeping a tight line for this corner. In the dry, you go a lot wider there and here. But whoa, you can see that, yeah, you can see BP getting a bit squirmy. Another hard braking zone into turn 11. And then the kink 12. This leads into turn 13. And here you've got a really big progressive on the throttle.
Look at that. He's
go too hard.
Yeah, you just control that wonderfully there.
Kept it on the perfect line where the maximum grip is, and now he's coming down that back straight. 311, so he's not running as much downforce as Simo. Hard on the brakes, misses the apex this time, unlike his previous attempt, where he got it pretty much perfect. And here we are on the last corner, turn 16. Again, takes plenty of apex, goes out a little bit wide, doesn't want to over-rotate the car in any way, and it sets a purple.
That's how you do it. That is how you do it. Wardy Chill. Thank you, Axel, for setting 100 stars on Facebook. You're an absolute legend, sir. So we've had 2 of yous tonight. Support us in the most awesome ways. Thank you very much. As we get Rock Lobster and Wardy Chill now on the penultimate lap. They're only separated by 0.6 of a second. Lobster's under the pump to get the power down. Wardy also, but they've got to be so patient as we now come out of 13 and up towards turn 14. An orange car appears out of nowhere. That's how wet and rainy it is. Wardy knows he needs to get something done this lap. He goes, looks for an opening. He might get it done. Can't get anything out of it. And Rock Lobster, for the moment, still takes 7th place. This is going to be so close as they're about to begin. Well, lap 27, because it should be lap 27 for the leaders. So, got 2 more penultimate lap starts. And now, yeah, Wardy Chill, he's got high hopes.
Yeah, he really wanted to get that 7th place off Rock Lobster to maximise the points for Mercedes in this race after Hawks' shocking exit. So, and no doubt Hawks would be on the radio now with Wardy Chill coaching him through it. And definitely Wardy looks like he has the pace here, you know, on that pink Mercedes in front of him.
Yeah, look how quick the exit he got out of there. 0.3. The gap's almost disappeared. And Wardy up on the inside. They come together clashing. Oh, traffic as well. But they managed to dodge that. And Savage just takes the lead from these two. And Wardy once again has to put even more work into the overtake. The final lap has begun for the leaders. And BP is going to take a clearly huge win. But right now, more points are on offer. Remember, VLN scoring system. So everybody gets points. But obviously, the higher you place, the better the points. So Wardy wants more. And he's not too far off from them. But Rock Lobster looks so confident through turns 12 and 13 here and onto the straight.
Yeah, here's Rock Lobster. Oh, he's getting a bit squirmish. He lost a bit of drive out of there, but he's got enough of a gap, I'd say. So, again, now Wardy's going to close that gap right up. He won't be close enough, I don't think, to throw one down the inside. He's just trying to beat the toe. He knows he's got a bit compromise coming out, and the gap closes right up.
Once again, that concertina effect would happen. It happens between these two. The gap's on the 8/10, and Wardy really needs to put the power down now because they're going to begin the last and final lap, and this is all it's going to be. Oh, he's so lucky. He recovered. Coming up into the first turn. He's going to get us have a look. Where is the race leader? He's just coming down the back straight. Bots, he's got a nice lead over Simo too, who's in third. Schnell, Blinky has caught up to him, but it hasn't been enough. Wardy getting so close now to Rock Lobster.
Oh, again.
He can't do that. That's going to put him on the back foot, and it certainly has. The gap's grown 9/10 now. Outside DRS range. Remember, it's been wet tonight, so they haven't had that to use.
I think that's it. I think Savage has locked that in. Simo now within a second of Bots as BP crosses the line to win. So now Bots going to take that second place, I think, pretty comfortably.
Yes, he
as,
will.
Williams goes out wide.
Just gets out of the way.
Yeah.
So Bots takes the checkered flag, and he comfortably gets second. It was a good fight between him and Simo, who's just coming behind him in third. Oh, and Simo's been jumped ahead.
Simo's taken second. We knew the penalties would be a factor. Let's see if Bots holds his place. Surely he will, because Schnell is way behind. And he does. So Bots will get third. Blink will take fifth. I'm pretty sure. Again, a big gap to Crazy Kiwi. And I think those positions will stay. A question mark, I guess, about Savage and Wardy. They're still within striking range of each other.
But
come out of the hairpin now.
Yeah, Wardy couldn't do enough. Rock Lobster had he had all the tools in the shed to reply, and he's done it. He's going to take seventh over Wardy's eighth. Good little battle between them, and it was a fantastic race. Keno in the other Red Bull will come inside the top 10 tonight for ninth. And Mort, he's fought hard. He's going to finish in the top 10 as well in 10th place. This race, it had it all. It had the highs, it had the lows, it had the nothing, and it had the safety car and a virtual safety car. And we even had one huge accident with Ming.
With Ming, huge one there, and we lost Hawks as well, title contender, and probably his title chances have gone up in proverbial smoke. But my driver of the day, I'd have to say, is Schnell. I know BP made more gains starting from 10th, but I think Schnell had a great race in that Williams and come a solid 4th place. So congratulations. Let's see if the game proves me right yet again.
Well, there it was. Driver of the day for the game.
No, it's going to give it to BP. Well, he did gain the most positions, I must say. But hey, look, it's BP. You know,
it's like giving Hamilton.
Yeah. I mean, for him to impress me, I dare you to do it from 20th. And knowing him, he probably would.
Yeah, he probably would.
But anyway, but then I would give him driver of the day. You know?
Exactly. It's been look at that. There's the podium. It's been great. Bots got on the podium this week too. So everybody's represented.
That's right. Ferrari and Bots will probably be a little bit annoyed that he didn't consolidate that second spot. But definitely both Simo and Bots, maximising their points, knowing that one of the Mercedes was out of the picture.
So here it is, guys. BP won the race. He also got the fastest lap of a 1:44.2. It was actually the onboard lap we had during the broadcast. Then it was Simo who jumped Bots because of penalties. Schnell got 4th. Blinky in the top 5. Then it was Crazy Kiwi, Rock Lobster, Wardy, Mort, and Keno in your top 10. It was a fantastic race, and most of the guys only did 2 stops. But it was a wet one indeed at China. Now we're going to have them for interviews. So thank you to everybody who liked, who followed, who rated us on Twitch tonight. You guys are absolute legendary, and a big shout out to both Spec1 and Axel, who chucked in stars on Facebook. You guys are legends. I hope you've enjoyed the broadcast and enjoyed the race. We're just going to talk to the podium and see what they have to say about this exciting clash, round 4 clash for FNL1.
Yeah, China always does. Last time we've raced here, the weather, whatever it does, it stays the whole way through. So if it's raining, it rains the whole race. If it's sunny the whole race.
All right. Who we got? We got Bots in third.
Well,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. Don't worry, we'll get to you in a second.
We'll see.
So what was the penalty that you have to take to the stewards? What was it a game? Was it a corner card or something?
When Hawks ran up the back of me under the safety car, I got a 5-second penalty for it. Which then took away, because I only had one track cut warning, and then when I kind of got loose on the curb and still had 2 wheels on the curb and 2 wheels on the track, and it gave me a track cut 3 second. Because penalty I got from Hawks took away my warnings, so the next one was just an instant penalty as well.
The plot thickens.
Well,
all right, we'll get to you in a second. All right.
First up, BP. What happened in qualifying then? Was it just cockiness or?
No, I had a full wet setup on. It was just absolutely horrendous in the dry. It was just Ben. So I just invalidated each time. So I don't have a good history of qualifying in China, but just invalidated, and car's just hard to drive in the dry.
Yeah, I bet it was.
You decided, knowing that it was going to be a wet race, you decided to go for a full wet setup, or?
Yeah, I went for full wet because I kind of misjudged the indications on the weather predictor. I thought it was going to be heavier, so it was like full wet. So even in the race, it still wasn't great. It was just I needed to make a hybrid of the wet and the dry to really maximise in those conditions, because the full wet just wasn't completely comfortable, but it was drivable.
Definitely. You gained 6 positions in the first 2 sectors. We didn't catch it all. We didn't catch it all. Just run it through those first 2 sectors. Visibility.
I'll clip it on my stream when I'm done here, but and I'll send it through on Discord. But the visibility was pretty bad. But I got a good launch. I got 2 cars off the start line. Going to turn 1, everyone's trying to tuck in, and I just stayed out wide. And then gained another 2 like that, and heading to the end of the first sector, start of the second sector. I think I was down the inside for the last one. So it was really just maximising the congestion of the turn 1 complex, and just going around and sticking it, because I had 0 wet running heading into this race.
Yeah, I don't think many people had a full chance to practice some wet.
I was joking around, saying, "Oh yeah, the race is gonna be wet, haha." And I was like, "Oh, well, it actually is wet. Goddamn!" Because
well jinxed. I guess. What was your thoughts with when you saw Hawks had gone off and out of the race? You must have thought, well, thanks for coming.
I was thinking, what the hell happened? Because I was sitting behind, I think it was Blinks that was in front of me at the time. And I was behind in his spray on the safety car. I couldn't really see what was happening. Next minute I see debris fly up, and I see Hawks pulled to the side of the road. I didn't see a wheel off the wheels are still on his car. He was just pulled to the side of the road. I was too distracted by that. I didn't see the message at the bottom, and I heard Bots got a penalty somehow, so I couldn't really see what happened. I might be able to see it back in the stream, but couldn't really tell what happened. But I was surprised at least.
Well, I think we're going to get more information when we ask Bots a few questions. But congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Well done, and commanding lead now in the championship, no doubt.
Oh, and challenge for BP. One of Stephen on the chat says if you can start from the back of the race and win, he'll donate £20 to your charity of choice.
Oh, that's
How about we donate £20
very
of hours to
offer.
BP's car? How about you do us all a favour, mate?
Hey, I had literally like 9-10 wing in that race. I had no straight line speed.
I don't want to hear it.
I had no straight line speed.
Yeah, no, your blue path's moving in the street.
Well, congratulations on the win, and second place, Timo. Well done, bro. Capitalising, getting that Ferrari well and truly deep into the points.
Unlike real life.
Yeah, doing something which Leclerc and Vettel just simply cannot. Both Ferraris looked very good in that race, especially when Hawks was gone. It definitely looked like a solid haul of points. Yes, there's controversy with your second place because Bottas is obviously going to protest one of his penalties. But nevertheless, a good result for Ferrari this race.
Yeah, no, it wasn't too bad. Well, if Bottas gets overturned by the stewards, it's still a podium. So if you had asked me before the race if you want to take the podium, I'd go home with that. That'd do.
Yeah, definitely. And how was your start? With visibility and that, were you giving yourself being a bit conservative, or did you try and press going into turn 1 and 2?
No, I just tacked in behind, nice and cautious. I think it was one of the Renaults in front of me. I just tacked in. I'm like, nah, not worth doing anything silly on the first turn 1 and 2. There's 28 laps, so we'll just wait it out and see what happens.
Were you the first to blink in the pits? I think, did you pull the trigger before Blinky?
Nah, Blinky went first. The kind of plan was because
that's right.
There, so the plan was to try to have one undercut and one sort of overcut and see how we went. And
yeah, but both of you managed to get past Bots. I assume that wasn't just an undercut, though.
Yeah, so it sounds like Bots might have had a bit of a 5-second one, so you'll be able to tell us more about that. But from where we were sitting, we thought it worked beautifully. It was good pit stops. The wet probably helped us with the Ferrari engine, since we know that's terrible in real life at the moment. So,
well, they were. We noticed that you when you were battling with Bots, you were faster than Bots in the middle sector, but you really didn't have the pace going out that back straight. And we checked your top speed compared to Bots, and you were a solid 10k off his top speed. Were you two running quite a high downforce?
Yeah, no, the wings were pretty high. I'm not sure if it was 610 or 710. It's one of them. But it was more just to find a spot where I felt like I wasn't going to take the car off the track and still be competitive. So through the corners was the main part, and then hopefully I'd have enough of a gap down the straight to hold off. But Bots dived down the inside, and I think we ended up both going off the track after that one. So
yeah, that was
neither of us hit. So wasn't too bad, which is good. No damage was done.
It was good racing. Well, congratulations for, let's call it for now, a second place, unofficial, of course, but a podium nevertheless, as you say.
Thank you very much.
So, now we move to Bots, the McLaren driver. What happened under the safety car with you and Hawks?
No, I don't know. I was just kind of cruising up behind the safety car, and I heard Hawks yell out he's going to sacrifice his life for Pakistan, and just gunned it. It sounded like he hit me at a fair rate of knots. I got a 5-second penalty but someone said, I think it might have been UBP, or someone said that he's had wheel troubles or something like that. Has he been having
in
wheel
the past?
Troubles? Yeah.
Well, in the past, when we were both Mercedes, like often his wheel would actually glitch sometimes and switch off on occasions.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I don't know. It just sounded like he just pinned it. Because I rolled off to sit behind the safety car, but I didn't just kind of just drop it in the middle of the track.
Was he trying to warm his tyres up, or by weaving or anything? Or were you weaving to warm it?
It just sounded like it was just foot to the floor. So it was obviously a problem, because Hawks wouldn't, you just wouldn't do that because put him out of the race. So
wow, so like potentially a mechanical failure with the fly-by-wire.
Yeah, maybe, or if it was a wheel problem, it could have been DAS or DAS, whatever they want to call it. But
or maybe his wheel detached completely.
Yeah, maybe. So yeah, had that, and then was able to keep the Ferraris at a comfortable distance. I felt really good through the middle sector and through that first sector as well, so I could kind of just manage the gap through there and then use the ERS and rich fuel mode down the straight, because I felt like they had a bit more top line than me.
Well, that wasn't the case. I don't know with Blinky though, but with Simo, you definitely had him by 10k down that straight. Though Simo was faster than you in that middle sector.
Yeah, right.
Pulling nearly 6G at Magello.
I'm talking, mate. You right?
You tell him, bots.
And then I saw Blinky pit, and I thought, well, I'm either gonna.
Yeah. So tell us this, because we thought it was the undercut, but then 4 seconds you lost to Blinky, plus whatever you were ahead of him. So I started thinking that can't be just an undercut. You must have had a moment.
Well, I had to serve the 5-second penalty in the pit lane.
Ah, there we have it. Yeah.
So I had that, and then had Blinky in front of me, and then I thought it would have been close between Simo and I, because if I had gotten Simo in the pits, then it probably would have made my life a bit easier. But then he had about a 1.5 second gap, managed to pull back some time under the VSC, and then it was just a case of putting my head down and just clicking off the laps and running a consistent pace, really. I managed, like I said, got Simo, and I think Blinky must have had a drive-through or something like that. Do you know what
Blinky,
that was about, Simo?
Yeah. They basically, I think he knocked it back to neutral on the first turn and still pinned him. So he got pretty unlucky.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we didn't see. We saw it come up on the feed, but we didn't actually see him break the speed limit. But we saw the penalty come up, and we were saying we weren't sure if it was a bug or if he legitimately did break the speed limit. But I was suggesting that he just drives the car to the end and then appeals it at the end. But he took the penalty, did the drive-through, got it cleared.
You don't have a choice. It disqualifies you after 3 laps.
After 3 laps, yeah. So there you go. So he wouldn't have had a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a hard one to now appeal because of the time driving through the pit. It's not just a certain amount of seconds that the stewards can reverse.
No, well, it's about drive through the pit lane. So probably works out to be about 30 seconds. So
yeah, not quite because it's not a stop and go.
Yeah, that's true, but it's still
it's a big
and
chunk.
you're far
that's
off
for
the
sure.
racing line as well. Yeah, and then got Simo, Blinky had his drive through, and then it was just kind of managing the gap, and then I got that penalty, and then I thought, well, I had enough fuel to run a mix until the end, so I kind of just ran as much as I could, and I think the second last lap I made a little bit of a mistake and lost a second, and then managed to pull a bit of a gap out on the last lap, but yeah, we'll see what happens, because I had the penalty straight up for the incident with Hawks. It took away all my warnings, so it's penalty after penalty for me, so
it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out. Everyone was going to be hanging to see the footage from Hawks that should explain what happened. But nevertheless, congratulations. It is strange. It sounds like you said some kind of failure, maybe his wheel disconnected or something, Yeah, it's definitely not like Hawks to just plough someone under a safety car, not by a long stretch. All right, but nevertheless, we're going to have to wrap things up there. Congratulations to our podium place drivers, BP with the win. Simo unofficially at this stage with the second, and Bots with the third for McLaren. Congratulations, and next week we're going to another crackerjack track, which I can't wait. Yeah, I'm really keen to see if anyone can overtake on that track.
Yeah, you're probably not going to see much. It's pretty average for racing. I'm just going to throw that out now.
Well, that race we had for was it like the top?
Yeah, that race we had before everything started.
Race you want to call that? Yeah, that wasn't too bad, but I mean, I went pole to a win, so I don't know what passing was like. But I know there was watching the stream.
Obviously not great.
Of people just trying to pass and just nowhere to go, really. So
yeah.
Well, I'm gonna be.
Oh, into that £20 offer. We'll see how things play in one of the European circuits. We'll see how things go there.
Yeah,
So it won't be Zandvoort.
Oh hell no, won't be Zenford, I can tell you that.
Well, thanks having a chat, guys, and yeah, get practicing for Zandvoort because you're gonna need it.
Yeah, bots, get started in those 20 hours.
Alrighty, well, thank you, Zen, as well for the commentary tonight. It was good fun.
Not a problem, my friend. It was a good race. Bit of controversy, plenty of action.
Was indeed. Well, that brings us to the end of the broadcast. Thank you, Blinky. It was just a fine line, and I was on the wrong side of it. Well, we can't wait to see you next week. But like I said, guys, check us out at demo1garage.com. Thanks for all the new likes. Don't forget, if you haven't already, to subscribe and follow and like the video if you liked it. This is the end of the live stream, though. Highlights channel, Demo 1 Garage highlights. They should be up in 2 or 3 days. But that's it. My name's Josh. Thank you, Zen. And we'll see everybody. When's the next race? I think we've got one on Monday. So we'll see you Monday.